Hello everyone, I am Dr. Regina Anandi, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Today we are going to explore REST API architecture, which is one of the most important concepts in backend development. So whenever you use apps like Instagram, Amazon or Swiggy, there is a backend server which communicates with the front end using these APIs. So most of them follows REST principles. So by the end of the session, you will clearly understand how REST APIs are structured and how we implement them using express.js. Now let's quickly revisit the REST. So REST stands for Representational State Transfer. It is not a protocol but an architectural style. In REST, everything is treated as a resource like users, products, orders, something like that. So each resource has a unique URL. We use HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete. For example, to fetch the users, we use get/users. To create a new users, post/users. Imagine building an application without any structure, different endpoints, inconsistent naming, no standard way to send data. So this leads to confusion for developers, difficult maintenance, poor scalability. REST resolves all these by enforcing standard methods, clean URL structure, predictable communication. These are the things. So REST helps both front-end and back-end developers work efficiently. When a client sends a data, Express needs to understand it. This is called request parsing. For example, JSON data from front-end, form data from website. We use middleware like .express.json, .express.url encoded. So without parsing, request.body will be undefined. Let's clearly understand the difference between that URL parameters and query parameters. So URL parameters, which usually used to identify a specific resource. For example, user/10 will fetch you users with ID number 10. Query parameters used for filtering or searching. For example, /users age is equal to 20, then it will just filter or it will just search the person, the users who actually the age is 20. So very important, params required and query means optional. When we send data like creating a user, we use request body. For example, post/users, which comes in including the body, that name of a person, age, something else that. So in Express, we access it using request.body. It requires middleware, important notes to understand that always validate request body before using it. Now let's move on to one of the most important concepts in REST APIs, which is nothing but CRUD operations. So CRUD stands for create, read, update and delete. So these are the four basic operations we perform on any resources in the database. So in REST APIs, CRUD operations are directly mapped to HTTP methods. For example, create means post, read means get, update means put or patch, and delete means delete. So this mapping is standard conventional followed in almost all modern APIs. Validation is very important here for security purpose and for correctness. For example, email format check, password length requires field. So these are the places where we need. So we can use Express validator or Joy. Without validation, app may crash. It becomes an invalid data, enters the database. So the real thing is always validate on both front end and the back end. Some key REST API best practices. They are use proper HTTP methods, keep URL simple, like no verb like, or like simple as that, get user, something like that. Use status codes properly, 200, 404, 500, use the codes properly. Handle errors centrally. Use versioning like API v1 for version 1. So these practices makes your API professional and scalable. In e-commerce platforms, product APIs manage inventory, orders API handle purchases, stock updates automatically. For example, when a user buys a product, order API is triggered, inventory reduces automatically, confirmation is sent back. So this automation reduces human errors and improve the speed. So this is a small summary about what we learned today. So query means filtering or searching, param specific resources, body is nothing but sending the data, validations is critical because to ensure the data integrity. A quick check, like quick uncheck your understandings. These are the questions, please have a look on it so that you can easily able to understand that. And thank you so much for watching this. Thank you.